So you're on social media, you're posting away, but is any of it actually making you money? If you're not 100% sure, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to break down a super clear 7-step plan to turn all that social media effort into real, measurable profit. And this quote really hits the nail on the head, right? It's so true. There are billions of people on these platforms, and that includes your ideal customers. If you're not showing up where they are, you can bet your competitors are more than happy to. And this image, it's the perfect way to picture the problem. Just being on social media, just posting stuff without any real purpose, yeah, that's just chaos. To get real results, the kind that actually help your business grow, you need a clear, proven plan. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the untapped opportunity. Then, we'll get into laying the foundation. This is crucial. After that, we'll talk about taking consistent action. And finally, we'll put it all together into your roadmap to profit. First up, the untapped opportunity. We've got to really understand the core challenge here, the thing this 7-step plan is designed to solve for good. Look, if you've ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels online, putting in all this work without seeing a real return, this is for you. The issue isn't that you're there, it's that you don't have a strategy. And that is exactly what we are here to fix. All right, this next part is maybe the most important piece of the whole puzzle, laying the foundation. We're about to cover the first 4 steps, and you know what? This is the critical prep work that most people just skip, which is exactly why they don't get results. Now, here's the key thing you got to get about this. These first 4 steps, review, research, strategize, and game plan, it's a one-time setup. You do this foundational work right just once, and it makes everything you do later so much more effective. Okay, step 1 is all about getting real with yourself, like brutally honest. You have to go back and look at your data. Which posts got tons of engagement? Which ones were total duds? A failure isn't a bad thing, it's just data. You're learning what works and what doesn't. All right, next up, step 2, research. This is about getting laser focused. Who are you actually talking to? What do they care about? And just as important, what are your competitors up to? Doing this homework saves you a ton of time and money because you get to learn from what they're doing. And you might be thinking, how do I even do that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. You're basically becoming a social media detective. Make a list of your competitors, find their pages, and just watch. See what they're posting and write down what you find. You'll start to see patterns really quickly. Now listen, the point here is not to just copy what they're doing. Absolutely not. The real goal is to find the gaps. What are they missing? What topics are they not talking about? That little empty space, that's your golden opportunity to stand out. Step 3 is where you strategize. This is where you really define who you are. Your mission, that's your big why, it's your purpose. And your messaging, that's your what. It's how you talk about your purpose. If you're fuzzy on this, your audience will be confused, and trust me, a confused mind never buys anything. And the last piece of our foundation, step 4, game plan. You've heard the saying, right? If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there, which is not what we want. You need specific, real goals, and you need to decide exactly how you're going to measure your success. But what kind of metrics should you track? This is so important. Over on the left, you've got what we call vanity metrics. Likes, shares, they feel good, sure, but they don't pay the bills. On the right, though, that's where the real results are. Actual sales, people signing up for your newsletter, real business growth. Your focus has to be on the right side. Okay, so our foundation is solid. Now it's time to fire up the engine. This brings us to the second phase, taking consistent action. This is the cycle that you'll repeat to get real growth. Step 5 is to create. See how it all connects? You're not just throwing random content at the wall to see what sticks. You're creating valuable stuff, posts, videos, stories that are specifically designed for that audience you got to know so well back in step 2. So, where do you post all this great content? Uh-oh. This is a trap so many people fall into. The advice here is huge. Do not try to be everywhere at once. If you spread yourself too thin, you'll be mediocre everywhere. The key is to focus. Pick 2 to 4 channels where your people actually hang out and get really, really good at them. So you've created your content. You've posted it. Job done, right? Nope, not even close. Step 6, engage, is where the real magic happens. Remember, It's called social media for a reason. You can't just drop your message and run. You have to reply, ask questions, and build actual relationships. That is how you turn a follower into a customer. And this image just says it all, doesn't it? When you put great content and real engagement together, you stop having to chase down customers. Instead, your brand becomes like a magnet, pulling your perfect audience right to you. And finally, we have step 7, optimize. And this is the step that never really ends. It's a loop. This is all about looking at the data from those results-focused metrics we talked about and making small, smart tweaks to make things even better. No more guessing. So a huge part of optimizing is something called split testing. It sounds technical, but it's simple. You just make one tiny change, like a different headline or a different picture, and you see which one works better. You pick the winner, and then you test something else. It's a never-ending cycle of improvement. All right, let's pull all of this together. This is your roadmap to profit. Let's see what the whole system looks like in one cohesive picture. So here it is, the whole shebang, your complete 7-step roadmap. And just remember the 2 big parts. Steps 1 through 4, that's your one-time foundational setup. That's your strategy. Then, steps 5 through 7, that's your engine for growth, the stuff you do over and over. You absolutely need both to succeed. You now have the exact plan that separates the businesses that actually profit from social media from the ones that just waste time. So the only question left is the one right here on the screen. What's the very first step you're going to take today?